Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. When a graphic rises up, you know here comes some truth. I talk about the climate a lot, and I'm always looking for good news because there's a lot of it out there. There's a lot of things I've talked about before in the show, things that have already been invented that could help reverse the climate. They just need money on a mass scale. Because they're like, and I talked about this after watching Planet of Humans. They're like, oh, we just hope there's some miracle invention down the road that's going to save us all. I mean, yeah, that could happen, but we don't. I mean, great, put a little R&D money into that, but there's already solutions right here, and this is one of them. I saw this in Medium today. Awesome climate solutions that no one seems to be talking about. I just started following her, Ha Fong, also known as Why We Should Be Hopeful About the Future. I get it. Some of the climate reports that I've done on this show are scary. They're scary. But I've always done studies like the algae that pulls CO2 out of the environment at 400 times the rate of trees. I talked about that story. I talked about new ways to do hydrogen recently that are cheaper and more efficient. Because again, Planet of Humans, and it brings up a lot of great points of like, we can't just, make a bunch of solar panels and wind turbines. I'm big advocates of green energy, but when you get into the nuts and bolts of it, the reality is that you got to extract a lot of natural resources to make those products as it stands now. And so you're still and then the fossil fuel companies are buying in it. Like we learned in Planet of Humans, biomass is kind of a scam. But then there's this. She references several articles. One of them is from this company, Project Drawdown. And I'll put the link to her article in the show notes, and then there's hyperlinks to these other websites, which I highly see. This is a very lengthy article she puts in there, so I'm going to just sort of touch on one main thing, but there's a lot of great solutions in there. This article explores just a few that I found to be very promising and underappreciated, drawing mainly from Project Drawdown. Our work shows the world can reach drawdown by mid-century, meaning of taking the CO2s out of the air and basically, I'm just going to use a real, not a scientist, but just basically how we can clean the environment, right? Because the CO2s are melting the polar ice caps. They're all that stuff. There's a report about the methane bomb that could come out of there. There's a lot of like real shit happening. And it's not like, oh, if we don't do something, we might not make it to the year 2100. No. We might not make it to the year 2040 or sooner. But stuff like this gives us hope. And you need some hopeful solutions, because if everyone just goes, we're done, and then human nature being what it is, forget it, YOLO or whatever, and which just feeds more of American apathy. If we make the best use of all existing climate solutions, we can have a drawdown by mid-century. Certainly more solutions are needed and emerging, but there is no reason or time to wait on innovation. And I went to Project Drawdown. I went to their website, and I just pulled this out. Enhanced weathering is one of their solutions. Potential carbon sequestered 40 gigaton a year. Yes, the entire world's emission. Read more below. Meaning they can pull all this carbon out of the environment. What? How do we do this? And again, I'm giving you very broad strokes on this because I'm not a scientist. The idea is we find a mineral called olivine, crush it up, and lay it in the beaches around the world. The sand would interact with water from waves and carbon dioxide in the air to form carbon-rich sediments that would be sent to the ocean floor and stay there for millions of years. This is a process I'm learning in this article that happens naturally over lava rock and stuff like that, but it takes thousands of years. Naturally, this happened in 1,000 years. With humans' intervention, this cycle could take 1 to 2 years. So it absorbs the harmful emissions and then puts it in the bottom of the ocean way underneath the sediment. So it's not harmed. It's basically, that's what I talk about. It's sequestering it. But then that means we got to get olivine. Wait a minute. We already have abundant olivine in the world. It's the most abundant mineral in the world, meaning a lot of the minerals we use for the solar panels and batteries and stuff like this, we got to extract it, which is like a lot of times it's almost like a strip mining. It's really awful for the environment. This is the most prevalent mineral in the world. We only need 0.14% of the Earth's shore to offset global emissions. So let me just break that down for you. We only need 0.14%, not even 0.14% of the Earth's shore to offset global emissions, meaning we only need 0.14%. That's 1.4% of the Earth's shores. Think about all the coastline, all the shores, all the beaches all over the world. We only need 1.4% of it. 0.14. So not even a full percent to offset global emissions. And here's why it's better than trees. Planting trees is great, but planting trees is a lot. And I'm going to go into that here. We will need a lot more lands for trees to capture the same amount of carbon. 11% of land use will be needed to sequester 2/3 of the current emission. So there's a problem. There's just a simple math problem. We're going to need 11% of land. We need to plant trees on 11% more land to just get 2/3 of the current emission, right? Trees do not sequester carbon dioxide indefinitely. They release some carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere when decayed. So again, we put this mineral, olivine, on the beaches, and only less than 0.2% of our beaches around the world. You could probably just do the coastline of California and that would cover it. Or just the east coast of Australia or something. Think about that, jokes aside though. What if just the state of California said, we're doing this? Or Australia said, we're doing this, because Australia is an island nation. That would get most of it done. I don't know, maybe this mineral is prevalent in Australia. I'm just throwing that out there. Again, what do I talk about on the show? How important local governments are? Do you live in a state or in a country that has an ocean beach? You could vote to make this happen or petition your lawmakers to make this happen. And oh golly, it sounds like some jobs could be created doing this. This is why free college is important, because we need more scientists, biologists, marine biologists to do this research. And then we're just going to need people to extract, to get this mineral, to transport it, to do all that stuff. And then it's sequestered under the ocean for millions of years? The solution is undertaken most notably by Project Vesta. And again, the Medium article, this is a hyperlink, so please click on this Project Vesta, go to their website. I'm going to show you their website in a second. They are still in the very early stage, but the technology is there. If this is successful, we will have a lot to be hopeful about. And this is from Project Vesta's homepage. Turning the tide on climate change will be green sand beaches, capturing 1 trillion tons of excess CO2 in rock using the power of natural wave energy. Contribute to the project. We're facing an economic collapse because of the quarantine. We are looking at the rapid decay of the environment. The climate is collapsing. It's 100 degrees up in the polar ice. I mean, we've had Antarctica's had these crazy temperatures. Ice is melting and melting and melting and melting. We could get this up and running quickly. And this doesn't mean manufacturing wind turbines and solar. This doesn't mean building electric car. All that other stuff that really, I have an electric car and I know that it's not the long-term solution. This is a natural solution. Just put this out and make green sand. We start absorbing the CO2. Imagine if we did that. How long would this take to implement? 3 months, 6 months? Get it on these beaches all over the world and boom? Would our weather patterns start to straighten out again? We put people to work doing this. Gives people jobs. It also protects the coastlines because, look, melting ice caps rises sea levels. And at the current state, and I've done the video on this, if you go to the NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmosphere Association, which is a federal website, it shows you that Florida is going to be underwater by 2040. A federal government website says that, not an environmental group says that. I like solutions. I like innovation. America should be leading the world in innovation. This racism that's in our country is holding our country back. I'm so tired of it. The Confederate flag, the racism, the white nationalists, the Klan, you are holding our country back. We should be leading the world in innovation. Not just private business. And don't give me the environmental regulation. No. Deregulation only benefits the 1%. It only benefits billionaires. It doesn't benefit workers, and it doesn't benefit the environment. That's another reason I'm just done with the racist crap, because it holds our country back. We should be doing this. We should be leading the world in this, in saving the planet and putting people to work in green energy. We should have the best scientists, the best doctors. Instead, we're like 15th or 16th in the world in education. That's a joke. We lead the world in handgun deaths. We lead the world in people dying because they don't have health care of industrialized countries. We have the highest infant mortality rate of any industrialized nation. We lead the world in obesity, in childhood obesity. Come on. And we lead the world in like armed right-wing militias. Really? We lead the world in school shootings? That's what we want to lead. Why don't we lead the world in this? We're like, oh, America's beaches. America did this on all their beaches, and they're practically saving the planet single-handedly. All along the East Coast, through Florida, into the Gulf, and California up through Oregon. America just did it. Boom. Look what they're doing. Look how much they're helping. And now we're taking our team of brilliant scientists that are educated in our fantastic free universities and sharing this around the world. Nope, that's not what we're doing. We're bombing the shit out of poor people because they won't give us their oil. Oil that when you extract it and refine it and burn it is killing the planet. So we kill poor people for no good goddamn reason when we could be doing this. Your Confederate flag is holding this country back. You lost that war. The Confederate Army was trying to defeat the United States of America. So that means you are supporting the destruction of the United States of America. You are against the Constitution. You are against the Bill of Rights. So I'm done with it. The racists, the oligarchs, the billionaires, all these assholes, you are holding this country back. I'm sick of it. Read a book, get educated. We need a better education system. We need to implement plans like this. Thanks for watching the show. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey everybody, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.